Okay, guys, so I just finished training this morning. So today it's chest day, so we did chest and triceps. So what I want to talk about is how long you should be spending in the gym. And I think kind of the way to phrase this question, it's more a point of like, how are you using your time at the gym rather than how long you're spending. So recently I've been making the mistake of having sessions that go on way too long. There's nothing wrong with that as such, because obviously on a theoretical basis, the more volume you do, the more chance you have to build muscle. So technically speaking, you can build more muscle with more volume, as long as it's not, done in a way that's basically, your form is off, etc. As long as it's executed with good form, appropriate rest periods in between each set, just productive, your mind is in it. And you're not too fatigued, then yes, you can do longer sets. But what you have to remember, guys, is with fitness, it's really a mental game. So it's really about keeping the habit up long term for a period of years or the rest of your life, really. So the trouble is, if you're doing 90 minutes a day or sometimes 2-a-day sessions, you have to ask this question: how sustainable is that for you? Is that something you personally are going to be motivated to do or not? I mean, for most people, fitness is just a part of their life. It's not the entirety of their life. So it's basically a means to do well in other areas of life, if that makes sense. So it's a means to do better in relationships. It's a means to be healthier. It's a means to stay leaner. It's a means to be stronger, so you can pick your kids up easily. It's a means to be able to translate into other areas of the life. It's not just like a sport for the sake of it, if that makes sense. Sorry, I have a cold. Let me get a tissue here. So anyway, what I'm saying here is basically there's nothing wrong with doing shorter sessions. So because a shorter session, it's really just about getting the job done, getting out, moving on to other things. So today we did chest and triceps, and the whole session took me below 45 minutes, including my rest periods. So typical rest periods were about 1 minute to 90 seconds in between each set. So let's just dive into what I actually did. So the first movement, we did incline bench press. So initially we just warmed up with the bar, which I always recommend doing, because obviously I'm not saying I'm old, but like for shoulder mobility, very, very important to warm all areas of the shoulder up, and also to warm up the chest itself a little bit. So it does pay to just do that movement up and down with the bar. Believe me, no one in the gym is thinking you're weak because you're working out with just the bar. If they are, they're a loser. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, they need to mind their own business. It's very, very important to warm up to prevent injury. This is from someone who's trained for a very long time without, touch wood, any real injuries. So did that, went up to not quite our working set weight. We put some plates on, did a set, took those plates off, rested. So obviously we're basically resting while we're changing the plates. So about a minute or so is elapsing, change the plates, another set, and then one more set, and then I put a tiny bit more weight on just to see if I could push myself. And we completed 4 working sets, I would say, after that. Then quickly after that we moved on to flat bench press, and we performed, I think, about 4 sets of flat bench press. Again, there was no need to warm up with just the bar because we'd just done the same movement on the incline bench press. So we played around with the weight, added a bit of weight. Then I wanted to basically improve my range of motion, so I took the weight down a little bit and just improve my range of motion a little bit. Did about 4 sets maximum, then moved on to flat dumbbell press. Did, I think, about 3 sets of that. Okay. After that, we moved on to 3 sets of the pec deck fly. So that's really for the squeeze. So the pec deck fly is basically like a fixed path machine for the pec deck. So again, we did 3 sets of 12. As this is not a very taxing movement, there's only need for 60 seconds rest in between each set. After that, we rested for another 60 seconds and moved on to bodyweight dips. So bodyweight dips, they work the lower chest and they also work the triceps. So the first set was really rubbish because I'm always cold and it's always stiff to do this lower chest movement. initially, so I don't count the first set. It's just kind of warm up set. Then I moved in. I let another minute or so elapse, and then I'm as a rest period, and then I moved into the first working set, second working set, third working set, fourth working set. Then did 3 sets of tricep rope push down. So this is very important. You're basically just isolating your tricep. It's just a finisher exercise with the rope. You can lean forward a little bit. You don't want to lean too far forward because that's really for the lats. But it'll just really work the triceps. And that's it. That was my workout done. It took about 45 minutes. Slightly less because I have a stopwatch. And that's including those rest periods. But that's all you really need to be doing. And then after that, I always like to train my abs. So I go upstairs, get my whey protein, take a picture, post a summary of the workout, go bathroom, do a few ab crunches, have a shower and leave. And that's it. And similar tomorrow, back and biceps, it'll be a similar situation. And that basically, it's enough, guys. So the answer is you don't need to be spending a large amount of time in the gym, because this short amount of time, number one, you don't feel beat up. A lot of people, they use kind of like feeling sore as a barometer of growth, because they sort of think, well, if I'm not sore, it's not always a sign of growth because you're sore. The problem with being too sore, and let me tell you what this is for someone who's squatted every day for a while, it basically just... it hinders your ability to recover for the next workout, and it can leave you feeling not very good. Okay, so what you want to be doing is kind of leaving the gym feeling like you could have given a bit more, kind of thing. And that's not the message, because the message in our space is all about intensity. It's all about kind of balls to the wall workout. But you have to understand, these influencers that you see on TV, you don't get to see their everyday workouts. You get to see their highlight reels, because no one wants to see people going through the motions, doing the grind that takes they're not doing the reps, they're not doing the consistency that it takes. I mean, really, the number one success factor long term in staying healthy and strong and in shape is all about consistency. So, you know, at the end of the day, the volume is going to come, the muscle is going to come. It's just about consistency. Now, there is times where you do have a bit of extra energy. Go for it, use it, but do not think you have to kill yourself. At the end of the day, it all depends on what your goals are. If you're basically trying to be a pro bodybuilder, perhaps, but most people, it's just a part of their life, and they just want to maintain the muscle they've got or build on what they've got. But you can't do that if mentally you're defeated, so you quit because you've just beat yourself up. You can't do that because you're sick of the gym, because you're spending crazy hours there. You know what I mean? You won't be able to keep up with it. So my message to you is basically just think about all this stuff when you're training, you know, and sometimes less is more, because it will get you out. Then you'll be able to move on to other stuff. And then you'll kind of have a bit more of a renewed energy about coming back and doing more. But yeah, that's how we stay in shape. That's how we keep the habit up long time, guys. If you do have any questions about what I think about fitness or my fitness journey, I've been training 2 years. Was very overweight before I started training regularly and tracking my food. Currently I train 6 days a week, which is another reason why I keep my workouts a bit shorter nowadays, aside from purely getting bored if I stay too long. The other thing I see a lot of is guys who are just staring into thin air with dumbbells. They're like literally in there staring at their phone. You know, to be honest, you should eliminate all outside distractions really as much as humanly possible while you're there, because it's about quality, not quantity. So it's about basically being focused. The rest periods, you need to be thinking about your form. You need to be thinking about, have I got my breath back? Am I recovered enough? If the answer about if you're recovered enough is no, then you need to spend a little bit longer recovering and getting your breath back. Because remember, we're not trying to burn calories and sweat necessarily. We're there to try and become stronger and build more muscle, which will in the long term speed our metabolism up a little bit and make us stronger physically. So we want to basically get our breath back in between each set, and that's what the rest periods are for. So we want to be kind of present with what we're doing in those periods. Something Arnold used to do is flex in the mirror. So if you do have the confidence to flex in the mirror, go flex in the mirror. Okay,